I love escape rooms, and I'm going to talk about in this video the lessons that escape rooms have taught me that I've applied to my 8-figure business. Now, you might know me from AdOutreach, helping businesses with YouTube ads here on my YouTube channel, but what you may not know is that I've done over 75 escape rooms, and it's one of my favorite hobbies. And the reason for that is I've found there's so many parallels between escape rooms and business. So in this video, a little bit more of a fun video, I want to talk about some of those parallels and the big lessons I've learned from escape rooms that I've applied to business. And let me know down in the comments below, do you like escape rooms? Have you ever done an escape room? And hopefully by the end of this video, if you haven't done one, it'll make you want to do an escape room because they are so much fun. And every entrepreneur, business person I've introduced to escape rooms has loved it. Literally zero exceptions to that rule. Even people really skeptical about it, they end up having an amazing time and seeing the value of that escape room. And so here is why I believe that escape rooms are just so valuable. And it's because it parallels a lot of what you see in business and a lot of the challenges and problem solving that you're able to go through. So let's set the scene. You're in a room, maybe it's set up like Sherlock Holmes' bedroom, or maybe it's set up like an Egyptian temple, or maybe it's set up with a cabin in the woods. And you're inside this room, and there's a variety of different puzzles, all strewn across the room, a storyline that pulls it all together. You're there with some friends, or some business colleagues, or other entrepreneurs, whatever it happens to be, right, family, and you're there in the escape room, and the timer starts. You have 60 minutes to solve all of these puzzles in order to escape the room and win and get out. And you're told at the beginning of the room that maybe only 30% of people that actually go through this actually escape. And so now, hey, I gotta actually go in and escape this room. Now, when that adrenaline kicks in, you're gonna start off by maybe running off and trying to figure things out on your own. But what you'll realize is the best way to solve an escape room is to work with a team and play to your individual strengths. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're in an escape room for the first time is they do one of two things. Either they will all spread out and not communicate. That's a very common mistake. You probably can think about that, right? Everybody going off doing their own thing, but this person over here might be solving this puzzle that's needed. The key to this is needed to solve a puzzle somebody else is solving over here. If there's no communication, then they're not able to properly communicate and escape the room. But another big problem is people that almost work a little too closely together, almost like they're just one unit, all trying to figure out each puzzle at a time. So they might go over here, try to figure out this puzzle, and then go as a group over here, and then go as a group over here, go as a group over here. But the problem with that is if you don't divide, come back, and conquer, then you might not escape the room in time because you're gonna be tying up everybody's resources solving the same things when you could be solving multiple things at the same time. And so the best way to beat an escape room, by the way, if you're not an escape room veteran like I am, I'm just giving you the key right here. I always I have this little speech that I give whenever I'm introducing people to an escape room. I say this is how you win escape rooms. It's just like this. The best way to win an escape room is also the best way to win in business, is you wanna work as a team, but you also want to play to your individual strengths and divide and solve problems individually and then come back to a team. So the best way to solve an escape room looks like this. You have the team, you have a plan, you know people's strengths, you know some people are going to be better at finding clues, some people are going to be better at solving slide puzzles, some people are going to be better at riddles, right? Whatever happens to be. And so now you have a plan, and what you do is you come together as a team, you divide, you come back together to say, hey, what did you find? I found this. You communicate, you go back, you solve individual things, you come back together, you say, hey, what do you have over here? What do you have over here? Okay, let's solve this. Then you go back and you divide. Usually, if you're really experienced, you might actually have somebody as a leader in that escape room that's job it is to check on how everybody is doing and actually kind of oversee how you're solving it. Now, you might be asking yourself, you might be saying, Alric, you're really overthinking escape rooms. And I mean, that's what we do is we're here to win. I've actually set a record for the #1 fastest escape time at one of the rooms I did. I set #2 at a different room. There's a room in California. I did it with my brother and I, just the two of us. We've actually done together over 30 rooms together, and we were just the two of us there. And I remember them saying, hey, you kind of need 4 to 5 people to solve this room. And we went in, we solved with 2 people, and we set an all-time record. It's kind of cool. Everybody was giving us high fives. And the way that we're able to do that is we're able to go and divide. We know what our strengths are, come back together, divide, come together. Now, in general, I wouldn't recommend it with just 2 people. We just had a couple people at a time. But if you have a group of 4 or 5 people, you can go out, divide, come back together, divide, come out, back together. And so that's just a big part of solving problems in business. You want everybody doing their own individual part, but communicating with the team, coming back together as a team, whether it be on your meetings, your huddles, in an office, whatever it happens to be, on Slack, and actually communicating and sharing and getting over whatever those problems are. Now, another big part of escape rooms is the fact that there's problems and challenges throughout the room, right? There's puzzles you have to solve, challenges you have to do, and that's a big part of escape rooms. It's also a big part of business. Things are gonna pop up. There's gonna be challenges there. And there might be a little bit of pressure. The time is ticking down, but you have to know how to both account for the time so you can escape in the right time, and not just focus on the time so that you're not worried or concerned. You wanna actually focus on the task at hand, which is solving the challenges and problems, right? And having faith and confidence that you're gonna be able to do that in the right time. And if there is a room that maybe you don't beat or you don't beat in time, you're learning from that. It's a learning lesson, right? And then the rooms that you do win really well, what can you also learn from that? And how can you continue to hone in what worked really well with that room? And so that's gonna get you better and better. It's the exact same thing in business. Challenges or individual things in business that really go your way, you wanna compound that. Things that maybe don't work out the way you wanted, you can learn from those and apply it the next time. So it's a really important lesson. And the final one that I wanna talk about too is knowing when to ask for help and knowing when to ask for guidance. Now, in a lot of escape rooms, what's standard is you usually get 3 hints. And one of the things that I also tell at the beginning of the room is people are gonna have a desire to not use hints. And I also don't think you should necessarily use hints if you don't need it. However, it's much more important. What are the rules of the game? Escape. So do you wanna be the team that doesn't use your 3 hints because you're like, I don't need hints, but then you get stuck somewhere and then you don't escape, and you had 3 hints. So again, I know there's some rooms that don't do hints, or every hint deducts a little bit of time, but what's standard in escape rooms is you get 3 free hints included. That's a part of the game. You know, it's also part of the game? Winning the game, right? Actually escaping in time. And so there's no valor in losing the escape room, having the time run out to 0 with 3 hints remaining on the board, and you would have escaped if you just used the hints. And that's one thing that I bring up and I talk with people about, because you have this ego that says, oh, I don't want to use the hints, but they're part of the game. And using those hints could be the thing that actually gets you to the real goal, which is to win the game. And so it's the exact same thing in business. You have access to mentors, to resources, to coaches. Now, oftentimes you might have to pay and invest in them, but it's part of the game of business. You actually get a shortcut, just like a hint in an escape room, you can get a shortcut when to keep your momentum going. Because the best time to use a hint in an escape room is the minute you feel momentum fading from the group, right? Now, this is another big lesson. And by the way, if you do escape rooms, I'm giving you all my biggest lessons for escape rooms too, and for business. But in escape rooms, what I also tell people when we go into a room is most people use hints too late, right? The best time to use a hint is the minute you feel momentum fading from the group. Because here's what happens. You're solving this, you're solving that, you're solving this, you're solving that, you're solving this. And then you're like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And when you feel that for just basically 2 minutes, right? 3 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes, what you're gonna wanna do is you wanna say, okay, does anybody know what the next step is here? And if you don't have that, you don't have the momentum, all right, great, let's ask for a hint. Let's ask for a hint right now. Then you're gonna get the hint that's gonna rebuild momentum. You're gonna know and shortcut exactly what you need to do. And now you can start solving that next puzzle and that next puzzle, and you got momentum again. And if that happens again, get another hint. The hints are for momentum. You don't wanna use them too early, but you also wanna make sure that you use them when you need them. And the best way is to keep your momentum going and avoid having a stall out, which is one of the biggest reasons people lose escape rooms, is they spend 15, 20 minutes trying to figure one thing out when a hint would point them in the right direction. You get that momentum rolling and you continue with your game. So that's the exact same thing in business. When you have momentum, you want to ask your mentors, your advisors for advice at that moment that you need momentum. And so that's why you want to be able to pick up the phone, hop on Zoom, whatever it happens to be, type a question in, whatever it is, send it an email and ask a question to get momentum. And that's also something that we do for clients, in their businesses. We work with a lot of coaches, consultants, course creators, experts, authors, speakers to scale their business using YouTube ads, using the latest omnipresent retargeting strategies, organic video marketing strategies. And we also have one of the top marketing masterminds for coaches, consultants, and course creators called AdOutreach, where we're constantly helping our clients solve business problems just like that and be that mentor and that resource to give them those hints and point them in the right direction. Although there's a lot more than 3 hints with that type of thing. By the way, if you're looking for that type of resources, knowledge, and having somebody to work with each step of the way as you scale and grow your business, especially if you're in a course, coaching, or high-ticket business, feel free to book a call using the link down below, and we can take a look at what some of the challenges are in your business and map out how you can overcome them and get to where you're going as soon as possible. But that is exactly how escape rooms parallel business, why I love escape rooms so much, why I've done over 75 escape rooms. You'll be hearing me say 100 escape rooms very soon here as I keep doing more and more. It's also a ton of fun, and every city I travel to, if I go out for a business event or a vacation or whatever it happens to be, there's an escape room in practically every city, and they're all a little bit different. Yes, there's a lot of similarities, but they're all a little bit different. And so it's so much fun to try different escape rooms wherever I happen to travel, and I encourage you to check out escape rooms as well. Let me know in the comments down below if you like escape rooms, and if you haven't done an escape room, I hope this encourages you to do it, and hopefully you can see all the parallels to business. So be sure to subscribe if you like this content, turn on the notification icon so you never miss another video, and I'll see you in the next one.